Welcome back to Wellness Mysteries, a Feeling Good Feels Good production. I am your host, Dr. Tripp, and this is the podcast where we make feeling good feel simple. We do it in a fun, interactive way. Each episode is a mystery about a fictional patient, and every detail is a clue. We welcome you to play along with the first part of the episode, listen to the clues, and solve the mystery before the reveal. Once the mystery is revealed, we'll break it all down, why we included each clue, and practical information so that you can start to use this in your life today. The patients in these shows are fictional characters based on clinical experience and current research. Nothing you hear is medical advice or a diagnosis. If something here resonates with you or you're curious about, please take it to your current provider. So this mystery started on a Monday morning. It was an early morning patient. Monday morning, the first patient of the week, a new patient. Her name, Mandy. It was a busy day. Monday morning, traffic was bad. The rain was coming down, and you could feel the tension in the city. The Eagles even lost yesterday. The mood in the city was very tense. People were rushing to work through bad weather and not caring about the people next to them that were doing the exact same thing. The first patient, Mandy, came in, and I could sense that she was no exception to the tense energy around her. She was definitely, tense. You could see it was that Monday morning feeling plus something else that had been going on for a longer time than just today. And honestly, I welcome it. Sometimes people are worried about sharing their problems or bringing themselves in front of somebody who's going to spend time with them. I am happy to help. Someone who might feel like they are too much is not too much. Nobody is too much. And if I can help you feel good, that only helps the people around you too. Everyone is definitely unique, but it also just comes down to it's all information and clues and another mystery to help someone feel good and help the people in their life. So Mandy, she sat down and we both remarked about the Monday morning vibes in the city before shifting our focus to her. She apologized before we even started. She said, "I am so sorry. I'm not my best right now. I'm just having a rough headache day." It was not like a sad or a guilty apology. It was more a feeling of anger that came across. Not just angry at Monday morning, but angry that she was dealing with another headache in a situation that she could not get herself out of. Maybe I was getting ahead of myself, but that was my early read. For Mandy, I wanted to cut to the chase. I really want everyone to have their time and allow myself to get to know the patient and for them to ease into the session. But for her, small talk did not seem like it was going to help much. "Okay, where's your headache right now?" She drew a line across her forehead. She said, "Right here. It's like a line in the front of my head, but not in the back. But that's just today." She went on to say, "It can be different in different areas depending on the day. 2 days ago, I woke up and it felt like a stabbing in my eye. The other day, in my ear, and the other side of my face. It is one of the most frustrating things about this. I cannot fix it because every time the headache leaves one part of my head, it ends up in another. And right now, in the morning, when I wake up, it is bad. And after driving, it is bad. So you, Dr. Tripp, are seeing me at my worst. It is the morning, and I just drove in awful traffic, so I am really feeling it." "Okay," I said. I told her I was glad that she was able to make it in, despite it being her worst time. And honestly, sometimes that is the best time to get checked, when symptoms are at their highest, and the body is giving us the most information to work with. So I asked her how long she'd been dealing with this. She said she swears it is related to her job. She started her job about 3 years ago, and 6 months in, she started having these headaches. She said, "I never had these before. Sometimes my neck would hurt, and I would get a little head pain from that, but nothing like this. It only started after being there, and it's only getting worse. It's like the same job I always did, but it's just a different place. I don't know what it is, but it feels like there's something about it." "Okay, so mornings are the worst?" I asked. She said, "Yes. When I get out of bed, I feel it a lot. It gets better, but then by the end of the day, on certain days, I start to feel it again." "All right, can we notice any difference in your day on the days where you have a headache versus the days you do not?" She said she really did not think so. "Okay, let's look at your most recent day at work when you had a headache. When was that?" "Wednesday last week," she said. "That is when I made this appointment." "So Wednesday was your last big flare-up?" "Yes," she said. "But not Thursday or Friday?" She said, "A little. It is like kind of always there, but not like Wednesday." "Was there anything different about Wednesday versus the rest of the week?" She paused and thought for a second. "Not really. Well, Wednesday, we have this meeting that I hate. We have it 2 to 3 times a week. I basically have to sit there for an hour and a half and bite my tongue while my boss gives stupid ideas that we already know do not work. It's the most frustrating waste of time. She says nearly the same thing every meeting, and if I give any feedback, she tries to move us forward and she talks right over me. I just learned to sit there and shut my mouth and bite my tongue and move on. Okay, that sounds really frustrating, I said. She said it's pure anger for 1.5 to 2 hours. I stopped for a second. This was actually the most relaxed she looked since she walked in the door. I knew there was something there, but I didn't think it needed to be pushed further. Let's transition. You mentioned a history of neck pain, I said. Can you tell me about that? She said, yeah, I used to get neck pain and mild headaches. I would get chiropractic adjustments and it would help. I used to love going to the chiropractor, but now it does not really seem to help me the same way it used to. Don't get me wrong, I feel a little better, but it's just not like it's used to be. I told her not to worry. I completely understood. I was already starting to feel fairly certain about what to hone in on pretty early with Mandy's case. But doing my due diligence, I asked more about her history. And honestly, I was not expecting her to have been through so much with this. She had gone to every specialist she could think of, neurologist, primary care, imaging, blood work. Everything came back normal. She even gave up gluten and dairy based on some advice she received. That last piece of advice caught me a little off guard. She did not match the type of person or symptoms I would have thought to have had those sensitivities. So I wanted to dig into that one a little bit more. Tell me, Mandy, why gluten and dairy? Oh, because every time I had a pizza or bagels, it made things worse, like almost immediately. She said I would eat bagels or pizza, my whole neck, my face, and my head would hurt. She paused, and looked up and gave a smirk and said, and I love pizza. We both had a little laugh. I told her, I completely get it. I'd be upset at a life without pizza as well. And I didn't want to get ahead of myself again, but I have mentioned that I did not think she would necessarily have to worry about never having pizza again. She started to relax a little. I could see her shoulders come down, her jaw and her face muscles soften, and it was a good time for me to start to transition into the examination. So her shoulders and her neck tight. I could tell that she'd been holding her head to one side more than the other because of how disproportionate the stress was on one side versus the other. And because of the pressure that she felt in her head and her face, I wanted to feel the muscles not just in the neck, but also in the front of the face and her head. And as she was talking, I could feel them struggling to relax. I even felt clicks and pops under her ear as she was describing what she was feeling. She had mentioned that those clicks and pops had gotten better since she started wearing a night guard a few months ago, but the worst was when she woke up in the morning and took her first yawn. She had to lay back down and close her eyes and hold her face. It was so painful. All right. I was ready to help Mandy. Let's talk about Wednesday. Here's what I want you to understand. The jaw is one of the strongest structures in the human body. The masseter, the muscle right here, she winced as I pressed into it, is capable of generating extraordinary force. When we suppress something or feel tense and hold something in, we bite our tongue literally and figuratively. That force has to go somewhere. And for 3 years, Mandy, it has been going right here. Every time you tense, every time you hold in anger, your jaw has been absorbing much of that pressure. Now, let me explain to you a little bit about why the mornings are also bad. Your jaw has been doing this while you sleep too, clenching through the night without you knowing it. By the time your eyes open, the jaw is already inflamed and the nerves in the area are already irritated. 8 hours of pressure before your day has even started. And then you yawn, the maximum opening for a joint that has been tight and squeezed all night. Think about taking something that has been pressed and squished and cold and stagnant and then opening it fast to its maximum capability. That is going to create strain. Now your headache moves around, and this is very common for headaches that are coming from the jaw. We have a nerve that's one of the largest sensory nerves in the face. It covers the jaw, it covers the cheek, and it covers one side of the face and the forehead and the temples. When the jaw is irritated, which your jaw has been for multiple years, the signal spreads upwards and communicates to different branches of the nerve. The headache does not move because the thing that's wrong is in different places. It moves because one nerve is lighting up in different areas on different days. So you can look at where the headache is, but for you, we need to specifically look more for where it's coming from. She said this is the first thing that anyone has ever said that actually makes sense. Okay, now the pizza and the bagels. She looked like she wanted to pay maximum attention to this. I do not believe that you developed a gluten sensitivity. What developed is a jaw that cannot handle a wide opening and heavy chewing without inflammation and pain. Pizza requires a big bite. Bagels require sustained force. Both load a compromised joint in a way that other foods do not. And this irritates your already irritated area, which is why you feel it in your face, your head, and your neck. I do believe that you will be able to eat pizza again once we correct the issue in your jaw. And after that, she looked excited, like a kid walking into a pizza party. Now let me answer the question why chiropractic worked in the past, but it did not work this time. And the answer is not that chiropractic stopped working, it's that the problem changed and the chiropractor did not address the new issue. When your headaches were primarily coming from your neck, adjusting your neck helped them resolve. And here's something very interesting about your neck pain, your headache, and your jaw dysfunction. You might have never felt it in your jaw, you felt it in your neck and your head. The top of your neck and your jaw overlap in the nervous system to the point you could have pain in your jaw from a problem in your neck, and you could have pain in your neck from a problem in your jaw. And both of them can contribute to headaches. And that's why you felt a little better with the cervical adjustments, but not the full relief that you were used to getting. But let's change that today. Let's go back to that part where you did get full relief. A few things, and none of them are super complicated. First, we're going to work on the joint directly. We're going to calm down those tense muscles and mobilize the jaw through chiropractic adjustments. Second, your night guard is a good start. I want you to keep wearing it, but understand what it is and what it is not. It is protecting your teeth. It is not stopping you from clenching. Clenching is a nervous system pattern and a muscle pattern that we need to address. The guard helps you, but we need to calm the nervous system and calm the muscles of the jaw. Third, tongue posture. This one surprises people. If you can keep your mouth closed, breathe through your nose, resting the tongue at the roof of your mouth, and allow your tongue to be up as part of your default resting posture, that will absolutely help you wake up without as much intense pain, especially when you're yawning. And driving. Yes, driving is already stressful and one of the most common times when people clench their jaw. It is also when people have forward head carriage. So with driving, breathing, letting the jaw relax, holding the tongue at the roof of the mouth, and fixing your shoulder and neck posture will also contribute to you not having as much pain and headaches after a long drive. Now, some things you can do in those meetings from a physical standpoint are the jaw posture, jaw muscles relaxed, and tongue on the roof of the mouth. You can also work on diaphragmatic breathing, which opens your diaphragm, calms your nervous system, and also quiets the muscles. She looked at me and said, "Are you saying my boss is actually giving me headaches?" I'm saying that your jaw has been holding some of the physical weight of the words that you're not allowed to say in these meetings, and it's telling you this. It's exhausted. She had another smile. Now, we've given the reveal, but did you match some of these clues? Her name, Mandy Chu. I picked Mandy because it reminded me most of mandible, which is the main bone of the jaw. Temporal mandibular joint, TMJ. Mandy is suffering from TMJD, temporal mandibular joint disease. And her last name, Chu. I thought maybe this would be too obvious, but maybe it would be so obvious that you overlooked it. So chew. Chewing is the action that the jaw does. As with many of our patients in these wellness mysteries, if you look hard enough at the name, you might be able to figure out the solution before any more clues. In Mandy's case is one that we see fairly frequently. The jaw is a joint, just like any other joint in the body. It's bones that connect and are moved through muscles, and that movement is sensed through nerves, just like your spine, just like your hip, your elbow, your shoulder, your neck. But it is so often overlooked as a source of symptoms and dysfunction in the body. So I hope after hearing Mandy's story, you feel more empowered to look for some of the clues of jaw pain and jaw dysfunction. So if you like this episode, please subscribe, please follow, rate and review, and help us grow so that we can bring you more mysteries and more information that you can use in your life right away. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Philly Chiro. I love talking to all my listeners, followers, and hearing what people want to hear about. Let's talk about some mysteries. Who doesn't love a good mystery? And all my chiropractors out there who are finding these episodes helpful, I would love to help you even more. Follow me at Philly Chiro and DM me. I want to hear about your practice. I want to hear about your patients and help support you raising the reputation and outcomes of chiropractic everywhere. I love what we do, and I believe that every one of us has the potential to do so much more. So I can't wait to hear from you all, and I can't wait to see you on our next wellness mystery. Feeling good feels good.
Welcome to a state of feeling good. It's how we live and how you could. Just know it's how we're all meant to be. If things are off, listen to your body. It can tell us exactly what we need. Physical, emotional, nutritional, or mentally. No need to worry, it's reached accessibly. No matter matter how you felt or what you've heard, well-being's for everyone, it's what you deserve. Ease and joy are yours once it's understood. No need to fear, because feeling good feels